Hello, my name is Joy Seki. I'm your online therapist and emotional wellness coach. I'm always concerned about your mental and emotional well being. I work with individuals across the globe to achieve inner peace and happiness. In today's video, I want to share with us on how we can actually show ourselves kindness by soothing ourselves during difficult moments. Yes, when things didn't go as we planned, it's natural for us to want to judge ourselves and criticize ourselves for our mistakes and the fact that we didn't get it right. And this moment is when we actually need kindness the most. How can we show ourselves kindness during this difficult moment? By soothing ourselves. That's what I'm going to share in today's video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Cheers. Kindness is a fundamental part of healing journey. Many times we hear people talk about us passing on kindness, not breaking the circle of kindness, and it's a good thing. Okay, although we cannot predict how much kindness people will show towards us or when they'll start to show us kindness. As a result of that, we have to learn to show ourselves kindness. So that's where self-kindness comes in. All right, and I also believe that by being kind towards ourselves, we activate self-compassion. And self-compassion is fundamental to self-forgiveness. We need self-forgiveness because we have made mistakes, because we regret many things in our past, and we cannot continue to beat ourselves up. All right, so with self-compassion, it's easier for us to forgive ourselves and accept ourselves for who we are and move on with our lives. Okay, so you can see that kindness is very important. All right, so how can we show ourselves kindness? Must I wait for other people to be kind to me? Not at all. So one of the ways you can actually show yourself kindness is to practice the habit of soothing yourself. All right, and by this I would mean that when something suddenly happened and you feel bad, the goal didn't go as planned, the vision, the dreams did not go as anticipated, and in that moment you're really feeling terrible, and naturally what we do during those times is to berate ourselves, is to condemn ourselves, is to tell ourselves how bad we are, how we flop often, how we make mistakes, how we are stupid, how we are that and dumb and all of that. And the moment we start to use those words on ourselves, we start to feel low. Our self-worth is affected. And that influences how we feel about ourselves in that moment. And from there we can start remembering all those times we have made mistakes, all the bad things that have happened to us. And some people fall into depression. Some people, they can't help it. There's anger outbursts, there's a lot of things happening from one single event because of the way we're interpreting it, the way we're reacting towards what had happened. But when we soothe ourselves, we don't create space for all of that. What do? The moment we hear that bad news, the moment it didn't go well for us, and we feel the disappointment within, we feel the heart beating and all of those sensations within us, which naturally we would have tried to ignore and berate ourselves, we can connect within and attune towards those feelings. Yes, so I listen and I allow myself feel the disappointment. I allow myself feel the sadness. I allow myself feel the pain of rejection, of the breakup. I don't try to suppress it. I don't try to walk around it. I just allow it flow. Okay? And how do I do that? I must attune within. I must allow the internal housekeeping that is ongoing, the breathing, the heat and the cold, the sensations and all of the movement going within, and I can connect to my being that way. Usually I just lie down on the floor, lie down on my bed or my couch, anywhere I find myself, and then I try to free myself. So I spread my legs, my hands, I try to listen to the disappointment, the pain, the sadness. Sometimes tears is flowing through your eyes. It's okay. It's okay. The key thing is that you're allowing yourself, you're soothing yourself, just the way you soothe a friend. Sometimes you don't say anything, you just hug them, right? And then they are crying and everything, but you can see how much the hug is comforting them. That's what you're doing. You're comforting yourself by actually soothing yourself. All right, so you free up yourself, and all of that. Allow yourself to feel those things you're feeling, and by doing that, you also find a way to give yourself some treats. Maybe it's to listen to good music. I have a collection of 90s and 80s music. So what I do, I turn on my phone, and while I'm just there, allowing those things that is going on within, I'm listening to these beautiful collections of music, right? And the sound from the music, the beats and all of that, they're all helpful. The movements, beats, sounds, music are actually helpful, especially during a trauma response. They actually help us to intercept rightly. Okay, so if you can sing, sometimes I lose myself. Some particular good song comes in, I forget that I was being sad. I just sing some chorus along, and like that. And with that, there's movement, and with that movement, that's a change, and it's something that progresses. All right. And in working with some client, I've had some come back to me with feedback that they started to dance one particular song that they really loved, and in that moment they forgot all of the things that were ongoing. You see, it's fantastic. So you just allow yourself be that moment. All of that is happening. Okay, so if it's to play music, what some people do, some people can play instruments. That moment, as they are listening to what they are feeling, what is happening, they use all of that sensation, all of the painful and the sadness moments and the emotions going on within, to play piano. Some play the guitar, some flutes. They are expressing it through those musical instruments, whatever it is. I don't have those, I don't practice those. I mostly use music, and sometimes I'm just writing, sometimes I'm recording, and it helps me. Okay, and in doing that also, as the moment begin to move, you find that you start to remember even the times you won. So you see that you're not a failure. You had won before. You had succeeded before. Yes, the goals were achieved before. So all of this goes together. You start to celebrate your wins mentally. And what that means is that you start feeling the elevated feelings of gratitude. Yes, and happiness. It's gradual. These things don't happen immediately. You're moving, the sadness and all of that is ebbing away, and you're giving way to these new sensations that are coming in. And just allow yourself. Sometimes you might slip off in that moment. Anything can happen. All right, but give yourself that treat. Give yourself that moment to soothe yourself. Don't rush out of it. Don't try to cut it off. Just allow yourself be. You can put your phone on flight mode, listen to music, like I said, play an instrument, write, record. If you have a karaoke, do whatever, soothe yourself. Don't suppress the feeling. Don't hide the sensations. Don't pretend like it's not happening. Just be there for yourself. All right, be conscious in that time about your being, your essence. Okay, when you do this, you're showing yourself kindness. And this kind of kindness is actually helpful for emotional well-being. It helps you to regulate your emotion that particular moment. And this is one of the ways we actually regulate our emotions. All right? You think it's something you can do. I think you can. So start practicing it. Next time something didn't go well the way you had wanted, you had a sudden breakup, things are not just fine with you, and you feel like you want to bust, do these things that I have shared with you. And then I'll be glad to hear feedbacks from you. Cheers.